Now, it's been a horror day on the front line for our exhausted fire crews, with the tragic death of 2 volunteers in the line of duty in New South Wales. Overnight, the men and women of our fire service showed extraordinary bravery, battling more than 100 blazes burning right across the state, and there's more to come. Opposition leader Anthony Albanese joins us now. He's at Kurrajong Heights, northwest of Sydney. Good morning.
Good morning.
I imagine your thoughts right now are with the families of those firefighters who tragically lost their lives.
Oh, look, absolutely. The family and friends and fellow crew members, but also an incident and tragedy like this, of course, affects all of the families of all of the firefighters, and they're all giving up their time. They're showing courage and bravery and resilience. Many of them have been fighting fires for extensive periods of the day, every day, for months. And the fire that's affecting here, Kurrajong Heights, began in October. It's gone through the national park. It's threatened communities like this. And overnight, it just reminds us of the incredible risk that people are making, and in this case, tragically, the ultimate sacrifice, 2 lost lives.
It's very sad indeed. You'll be cooking breakfast with the fireys this morning. Have they talked to you much about what they've been going through for the past few days?
Oh, look, they have, and what I'm hearing is, you know, there are issues with filling rosters. There's issues whereby some of them are just exhausted. There's a story I've heard about someone finishing their shift, getting home and being told they've got to go out again straight away, because unless they did, then the truck couldn't go out. And those sorts of stories are incredible. The effort that people are putting in, this is a tragedy, but we're also seeing the best of Australia. A positive story, you won't hear this that often in recent times about the banks. I've heard stories about mortgages being frozen by the banks for people who are in fire-affected properties. That's a fantastic thing as well. And so
that's some good news to hear.
A big shout out to all of the businesses that are providing support for volunteer firefighters. I do think one of the things I've heard is that for many of them, they shouldn't be put in a position whereby they're forced to choose between continuing to provide that support and just putting food on the table for their families and just getting by from week to week. There is a need for the government to respond.
Well, let's talk about the government response while we go to can't get away from politics at the moment. In fact, it seems to me there could be a political point you're making. You're there in the fire zone, the PM is not. You would have heard the debate about should Scott Morrison break his holidays. We saw the photo overnight, supposedly of him in Hawaii with some other tourists. Why do you think there has been such secrecy about the fact the Prime Minister is even on holidays, and should there be such secrecy?
No, there shouldn't be, and then it wouldn't have been as big an issue. And I really don't want to talk about Scott Morrison's family holiday. I want to talk about the firefighters. I want to talk about these communities. That's what matters here, and it has been a distraction. I think it's unfortunate. It's a matter for him and his judgment when he goes on holidays, but I don't quite understand why it's been such a secret. Because I think it has been a distraction, and I just say that they should just say where he is, when he'll come back, and then, you know, enough of it. I'm more concerned about the firefighters here, their families, these communities.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you for your time today. Give our very best to the volunteers you'll be speaking to today, and thank you for joining us on the Today Show this year, Anthony Albanese.
And thanks for all those who've kicked in money and providing support for the fireys here on the front line.
Opposition leader Anthony Albanese there at Kurrajong in New South Wales.